I'm a little hot in here. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. And today we're having our morning ecom planning session. So I'm glad that you're here. We are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And today we are talking about procrastination. So my passion is helping people get focused, get organized, get structured in their e-commerce business. Today we're talking about procrastination for many different reasons. I feel like there are times in which we need to, you know, step back because I think sometimes people think that this journey is easy. And I'm not saying that it is not. There are moments where it is not easy and it can be challenging. And so if you're one of those people like, okay, I'm afraid to get started. I don't know how to get started. I don't know how to get focused. I don't know how to, whatever it happens to be. I want to talk about how we can overcome procrastination. So we're looking at we're looking at an article today. It is called Dive Through, divethrough.com. And they're giving us 7 tips for procrastination or how to overcome procrastination. And so we're going to take a look and see what they have to say. Um, all of us are going to have some level of procrastination in our life and in our business for different reasons. And so our goal is just to grow from it and to work on overcoming it so that we can make progress. Because procrastination stops us from making progress. It always does. So the first one they have is lower your expectations. I do 100% agree. Number one, it says lower your expectations. And the reason I say I agree is because of the fact that sometimes we think everything has got to be perfect. Like, I'm not going to start this business until I have everything the way it needs to be. I know exactly what I'm doing 100% on every whatever platform you want to sell on. So I need to know exactly what I'm supposed to do on Amazon. I need to know exactly what I'm supposed to do on eBay. And I need somebody to give me all the answers first before I can get started. And that is not always the case. Sometimes you just need to jump in and get started. And so we make the excuse because I don't know everything, because it's not going to be perfect 100% when I started, that I'm not going to do it. And, you can and go through a simulator on riding a bike, but there is nothing like the actual experience of getting on a bicycle and riding it. You can go through a simulator on learning how to fly a plane, but there is nothing like the actual experience of flying. So, going through a simulator, watching training over and over and over and over and over again, and never really getting started is not going to help you. You need to pull the trigger. It's not going to be perfect. Launch it ugly. I'm not saying that when you do that, you're not going to encounter problems. Yeah, we're all going to encounter different problems. I mean, I'm sure when you first moved out as an adult, it was not perfect. I'm confident you probably ran into some challenges because most people do when they first move out for the first time. The expectation, like, oh, okay, you have this idea of what living on your own will be like. And then you have the experience of living on your own and some of the challenges and the things that you had to learn to overcome. Or maybe you still haven't overcome them, but you're learning every day. The goal is to learn from your mistakes. So, will you potentially make some mistakes selling on Amazon or eBay or Etsy if you don't know everything? Yeah, I didn't know everything when I got started. I still don't know everything. There are many different sellers that have been doing this for years, and they're like, oh, I learned something new today. There's always going to be something to learn in this world. So launch it ugly. Don't overthink it, and cut yourself some slack. If you make a mistake on Amazon, can you overcome it? There's a 50-50 chance that you can. The goal is to grow over time. So the things that you do when you're a new seller, to be permanently banned or kicked off of an environment, will it happen on your first go because of the initial mistake, intentional mistake? I'm not talking about, I'm accidental mistakes versus intentional. If you go into something planning on cheating people, scamming people, that's a different story. But I'm talking about making innocent mistakes when you first start. Every platform allows some level of grace and mercy. But again, you're not going to know 100% of everything. The goal is to get started, rip the band aid off, jump into the pool, let's get going. All right, so the next one says keep your tasks small. Yes, I talk about incremental everything. Everything is incremental. Just like losing weight, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and be 60 pounds lighter or 200 pounds lighter. It's just not going to happen. And I went for a walk, and so I expect to wake up tomorrow morning and look like Halle Berry. It's not happening. It is not. So you're going to take it one step at a time. Again, you'll gradually get better at things. If you overthink it, you're going to focus 100% on, well, I didn't get my initial expectations, so I just quit. Or this e-commerce. My favorite one is this e-commerce thing doesn't work. I tried it, it doesn't work. Yeah, okay. That's my favorite. So if you are challenging yourself with um, this thing doesn't work, you're overthinking it and you're looking for large results at the beginning. You're not going to straight out the chute. You're not going to become a millionaire after your first sale. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to become a millionaire after you sell 50 products. Will you get better at selling on whatever platform you've chosen over time? Yes. Will you figure out different strategies on how to increase your profit margins, create better listings, source better products? All of those things will happen over time, but you just have to rip the band-aid off and get started. Stick to a schedule. Well, we already know that I 100% agree with that. Because I think, again, the reason that we're procrastinating is we're coming up with excuses on why we are ready to quit. Well, I tried it. The word try immediately implies that I've given up. I'm going to give up. This thing does not work. So, just go look up the definition of try. So instead of trying something, just do it. Make it a mission to learn from it little by little, piece by piece, so that way you can get better at it. So if you say, well, I tried creating a schedule. Did you? Like, do you have something written down, like somewhere that can be visibly seen so that we can actually see that you have an actual schedule versus you tried one? Well, in my mind, I organized the schedule. In your mind, we organize a whole bunch of stuff. In your mind, we visualize a whole bunch of stuff. We do a whole bunch of stuff. That is not the same as actually writing out a real schedule. Number 4, have a support system. Yes, absolutely. With on this journey, um, you need a support system. I'm a single mom. It's a lot. There are some days when I'm like, ugh. And you just need a support system. You need to be able to talk to somebody. You need to just be able to vent. You need to be able to to ask questions. You need to be able to whatever. So having a support system, a community in which you can talk to other e-commerce sellers is vital. We host the eCom Seller Summit, the eCom Q4 Summit, and you can join eCom Sellers Academy. Inside of eCom Sellers Academy, you can ask whatever questions you want. You can email us questions. You can type questions in our messenger bot. You can whatever. So if you're a person that's on this e-commerce journey and you just don't feel like you've got the support, you can do that. If you need an accountability buddy, look, I raise my hand and I will sign up for that. Kathy, if Kathy is listening. But having an accountability buddy and someone that you can check in with just to see where you are on this journey, just to be able to talk about the things, the progress that you made, somebody that's going to cheer you on and support you along the way. So if you need an accountability buddy or if you need someone that you want to talk to about your e-commerce journey, you can go to ecomsellers.com, click on freebies, and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session with me. I would be happy just to listen and not give you advice if that's what you need at that moment. But sometimes we just need to vent. Some of us have been on this journey for a very long time and we just need to vent. The other thing is, if you want a community, you can join eCom Sellers Academy so that you have a community of people that will celebrate your successes along the way. Number 5 is learn to say no. Yeah, we do have to learn to say no. We also have to learn to say no to ourselves. I know that there's always going to be something that is going to come up. I refer to sometimes it's shiny object syndrome, where there's a new opportunity, a new something that people want to tell you about, share with you, any of that kind of stuff. And so sometimes in order for us to make the progress we want to make in our business, we have to put on our deflectors, put on our blinders, and ignore the noise. And we have to say no. Sometimes we also have to say no about inventory. Oh my gosh, that was a great deal. And I just, if I could just go ahead and look. If that's going to cause you to lose your house or to lose, your car, get your kids kicked out of your private school, whatever it happens to be, that another opportunity will come up. Everything that is amazing is not always good for us. We think it's an amazing deal. This is an awesome opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and do it. How much is it? Well, it's like $20,000. What do you have in your savings? I got $21,000. Okay, you're going to pull the trigger and then think about the consequences afterwards. So sometimes we need to sleep on stuff before we actually pull the trigger. Now, I will tell you, most of the time when you talk to people that are entrepreneurs, they'll be like, no, you just need to pull the trigger and figure it out later. Yeah, you can live your life like that. You'll definitely be living in reactionary mode all the time. Every once in a while, it's good to slow down and think. So, amazing deals are sometimes not amazing deals for inventory or for whatever. So, another opportunity will present itself. And here's the deal: we can't always think about the regret of, oh my gosh, I wish that I had blah, blah, blah. Nope. You got to get it out of your head there. We're going to move forward because the past is the past, and you cannot, unless you have a time machine, go back and change anything about the past. The goal is to move forward. The one thing you can't get back is time. So, moving on from there. Incorporate a reward system. Yes, I believe that you should celebrate all of your successes, all of your wins. Every time you make progress in your business, every time you meet your checklist for the day, your goals for the day, your schedule for the day, every time you source something in advance and it ends up being an amazing deal and you sell out of it, like, okay, I'm excited for you, but you also need to pay attention because you probably should have ordered a little bit more. You need to make sure you start ordering when you see half your inventory is gone in one day. Like, okay, probably should have got some more of that. I thought that was a really good deal. But you should celebrate your successes, or take breaks, because you can't run 90 to nothing all the time. It's not sustainable. And that's the one thing about this e-commerce journey. Sometimes we make decisions in our business and we have to step back and look at it and go, oh my God, everything about this is not sustainable. It is not. Something has got to give, something's got to slow down, something's going to break. And sometimes we need a mental break. Sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up, slow down in order to restart or to begin again. Stop. In other words, there are times when we just need to stop for a moment. And then we have to get back into the grind and get some momentum going again. So depends on your circumstances, it depends on your situation, but you should reward yourself along the journey. Reward yourself as you go through this journey. And then last one is practice mindfulness. Listen to your body, listen to your mind. Again, mental health is not just a phrase. I will tell you, because COVID has been it has ravished the world, and it has ravished a lot of people's families, and it has ravished a lot of relationships, and it has ravished a lot of people's businesses, and it's ravished a lot of people's bodies, you know. And so listening to your body, listening to where you are, not necessarily being stuck in it, because you have to be able to discern if you're stuck in it or not. I would tell you, as a COVID long hauler still, um, it is a lot at times to try to do some of the things that I do and be physically exhausted because my lung capacity is not what it used to be. And I have to slow down, listen to my body. There are moments where there's a little bit of brief brain fog, and it happens, and it's okay. So don't beat yourself up over it. We're going to keep moving on things we can do, we know how to do. Sometimes we have to make adjustments on the fly. We have to pivot, and it's okay. So listen to your body, listen to your mind, listen to that voice that's inside you. Now, sometimes that voice is the gremlin of procrastination trying to get you to stop or trying to get you to just not do anything. And then so you can come back 6 months later and say, well, I tried that e-commerce thing that doesn't work. So you need to be able to discern the difference between the two. If you are physically exhausted for whatever reason, sometimes you do have to slow down and stop, and it's okay. So be able to discern the difference. So pray the prayer of discernment, because the procrastination monster likes to show up in many different forms. I refer to that as Satan. He takes many different forms because he comes to steal. He is here to see you lose and not to see you win. And whatever he has to do inside your mind to make sure you don't win, that's what he's going for. So make sure you discern the difference. So with that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock. I am with eCom Sellers. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to fulfill their goals, their dreams, their vision for their business, helping them to beat up the monster of procrastination, kick him when he's down, and being able to make progress in their business, to be more productive, to be more focused, to be more consistent in your e-commerce business. And if that's you, you are more than welcome to join me on this journey every single day, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Today we weren't here at 7 o'clock. I know that. We're working on that. But join us every day on this journey where we go through and have our morning motivation. And in addition to, we're live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. Also live on my Facebook page. In addition to that, if you feel like you need some support along the way, you feel like you're alone on this journey, you need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to bounce ideas off of, you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. Let's talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's get you where you want to be in your e-commerce business this year. Let's stop making excuses and let's do it. So you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on freebies, and scheduling your free 20-minute coaching session. In addition to that, if you need some support along the way, you can definitely join us in eCom Sellers Academy. It's $17.99 a month. You get 10 free retail arbitrage, online arbitrage leads a week. You get 10 wholesale lists. You also get access to a great community of people, access to our training membership site. We have over 200 training videos in there. In addition to that, we have live weekly training. We have a live training today at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, and in addition, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And of course, we have live weekly Q&A. So there's many other benefits, but you can join us at ecomsellersacademy.com. You can also pay for the lifetime and get a free e-commerce planner. And last but not least, if you don't have an e-com planner, grab one. You can go to myecomplanner.com, download your e-commerce planner so that you can use it along your e-commerce journey. So you can stay on top of those things that are going to help you to grow and progress in your e-commerce business. So that, to me, it doesn't matter if you're selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Shopify, Walmart, if you're doing drop shipping, if you're doing print on demand, if you're doing retail, if you're doing the thrifting, flipping, any of that, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, private label, I don't care. White label, it does not matter. Wholesale. Everyone's e-commerce journey has the same 5 to 6 elements. The way you do them is different, But everyone has to do research. Everyone has to source products. Everyone has to create a listing. Everyone has some level of a shipping component, and everyone has a level of customer service component to their business. Whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it, it's happening as part of your business. So all of those things are the same. Doesn't matter which form of e-commerce you take. So in any case, grab the eCom planner. It's going to help you. So go to myecomplanner.com. You can get the digital version or the physical version. Use that to help you stay on top of, increase your awareness of, and sustain the momentum in your business right now, especially as you start to get momentum if you're early in the journey or if you're trying to reignite your business. Look, let me just hands raised facts. I have reignited my business 3 times over the last 6 years. So if you don't think it happens to everybody, it does. I've had to reignite my business because of the fact that I got mold in my house, and it actually was in my office where we keep a significant amount of my inventory, and all my everything was in there. And so I had to block off part of my house, half of my house. And again, couldn't do anything. Happened right before Q4. As a matter of fact, I was sick first before I even realized what the problem was. That's the irony. I was sick for a month and a half before we realized what the problem was because I couldn't figure out why I kept going to the ER. So it happens to everybody. Number two, of course, when COVID hit, my kids were home and working through that, having to reignite my business. And number three, I got COVID right before I got COVID in beginning or the end of August of last year. Couldn't do anything. Didn't get to participate in Q4. Like, I think by the time I was at a place where I could work in my business, I couldn't do anything until probably like right before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do you know what that does to your business when you don't have all of August, all of September, all of October, all of November to plan for Black Friday? Like, okay. So I raise my hand when I say that I have reignited my business multiple times for different reasons. It happens to everybody, and I'm still here. So you can overcome whatever it is that you are dealing with in your e-commerce business. You just have to believe. So, with that being said, we are going to go through the daily checklist. This is the daily planning checklist. This is where we talk about being intentional, incremental, incremental activity over time, like tiny baby steps over time. If you've ever watched the movie What About Bob, which is, I'm sorry, I'm dating myself when I mention that movie. That means I'm older than I want to talk about. But anyway, everything about What About Bob with Bill Murray, which is very funny, and Richard Dreyfuss, is about taking baby steps. Everything is a baby step. And so in your business, when you're making progress in your business, it is all about the baby steps. So let's be intentional. Let's make incremental, take baby steps every day and be consistent in our business. So the first thing is the night before, we're going to at least invest 5 to 15 minutes. So find 5 to 15 minutes to be intentional about tomorrow. Okay. 5 to 15 minutes to go through and assess how your day went. So how did Monday go? How did you get through your checklist? Did you get through your checklist? Did you get through your schedule? Did you get through your plan for the day? Did you meet your goals for the day? Yes or no? We're going to celebrate the wins we do have. We are not going to focus on the things we didn't get done because life happens. Okay? Life happens. I am like, life happens. Trust me, I am. And we're going to keep it pushing. Number two, after we track everything and we make sure we make a note of everything, then the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to look at our stats for the day. What do our stats look like? So those stats are, what listings did we create? What items did we sell? What were our sales? What were our profits? How many listings did we rework? Maybe if we went out and about, what was our mileage for the day? What were our expenses that we spent? All of these things. And so we're going to update our stats every single day in our business so we know where we are every day. The next thing is that we're going to look at our online calendar for the day. What do we have on the agenda? What is on the schedule? What are the things that need to happen in our business and in our life? Because we are not going to live our life reacting to our schedule and reacting to the things. that maybe were planned in our business, we're not going to live our life reacting. What we're going to do is we're going to work towards actually making progress on things. And the way that we're going to do that is increase our awareness of what's happening. So, do you have doctor's appointments today? Shouldn't be a surprise. Or tomorrow, sorry. If you did this Monday night, it'd be tomorrow. Do we have to, go to a kid's school play? Or do we have whatever it happens to be? Do we have a meeting with the boss? Like, what do you have going on so that you are aware of it before tomorrow starts? And then building the schedule for tomorrow. So if you participate in the weekly planning session, then you've already gone through the activity of building the actual schedule versus the using the template. So the template is your guide to help you build your actual schedule. What is the actual activity that you're going to be engaging in throughout your business? So if you say I'm listing, what exactly are we listing? Are we listing for Father's Day? Are we listing for back to school? What are we listing? If we say we're sourcing today, what are we sourcing? Are we sourcing for the 4th of July? Are we sourcing for upcoming elections? Like, what are we sourcing for? Like, what are you doing? What is the what? Because the activity of listing is vague. Tell me exactly what am I listing? Okay, so that actual schedule gives you the details. And if you participate in the weekly planning session, you can pull that out. If you have not listened to the weekly planning session, you can go listen to it in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can also listen to it on Clubhouse. It'll help you give you some insight on what you need to be doing. So then we move into today's schedule. So the first thing is step 1 of this process is we're going to review yesterday. Why do we do that? We're always in the process of learning from not necessarily our mistakes. I mean, we do want to learn from our mistakes, but we also want to learn from what we didn't accomplish or what we did accomplish. If you had 20 things on your list and you accomplished 8, and that seems to be a pattern for you, maybe you're building too aggressive of a schedule. Or maybe you haven't organized your day in such a way that you can be more efficient and more effective in your schedule. So it's an opportunity to learn, to pay attention, to observe, and to look at, okay, do I have some areas of opportunity that I can streamline, improve, enhance, whatever. So we're going to reassess yesterday because we're doing this review at night. So we're doing it the night before. Sometimes we forget things because we've had a very long day and we're exhausted. So that's the reason why we reassess. The second thing, step 2, is we're going to review our weekly priorities and our weekly habits. What was on our list from our weekly planning session? What are the things, the habits that we're working to build? And what are the priorities for this week? The third thing we're going to do is we're going to glance at our monthly plan. Our monthly plan, there were roughly around 20 to 25 goals that we established for the month of May. What are they? And how does the activities that I engage in today get me closer to accomplishing those goals for the month of May? So we need to increase our awareness of that and be reminded of what our May goals are and come back to it on a regular basis. And then number 4 is we're going to write out today's schedule. So we kind of wrote it out last night, or at least we pulled out our actual, one or the other. And we're going to read it, write it, speak it like it's an affirmation. We're going to speak it into existence this day. Everything that we want to accomplish, need to accomplish, we're going to speak it into existence. So read it, write it, speak it. Maybe you rewrite it. Maybe you just review it. But we're going to step into today. That's our goal. My favorite quote is Ted Lasso. He has this saying that, he wants to try out something new. So we're going to try on today. We're going to try on the schedule. We're going to try it on, walk around in and see how it fits, see how we like it. So just keep in mind that the night before you kind of went through the schedule and you went to bed. Your subconscious mind was thinking about that schedule all day, all night while you were sleeping. Whether you remember it or not, it actually sometimes will go through and visualize. If you do this over and over again, meaning you do this, let's say the entire month of May, you will notice that there's a visualization that's happening. And then as you visualize the day, when you reread it, you visualize you accomplishing those things and you actually make progress towards that. Visualization is a real thing, and it does help people achieve different goals. So you have to see it in order to achieve it sometimes. So go through the exercise of doing it the night before, do it the morning of, And you'll notice over time, like, wow, I'm actually getting more stuff done. You're getting more stuff done because your subconscious and your conscious mind are working together, because both of them can see it, whatever it is you're working to accomplish. And that works for you in your personal life too, if there's something you want to accomplish in your personal life. And then number 5 is write down tomorrow's schedule. What's the main thing? If everything goes wrong, things don't go well, you get a call from the school, you got to pick up little Billy. He broke his wrist. Trust me, I raised my hand. I've had all kinds of stuff. Okay. I feel like, I'm not trying to win here, but I can raise my hand on the number of different random things. You're like, really? That just happened. And you're like, okay, but I keep it pushing every day. I keep going. So, hey, persevere through. So we're going to go through and kind of review tomorrow's schedule in advance, because we're going to look at it again tonight, and we're going to prepare for it tomorrow morning. So there you go. You get to see it 3 times. You get to read it 3 times, and you get to visualize it. Last but not least, we're going to prepare ourselves for the future. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to be happening in the future, and we need to prepare for it. One of them being, kids are going to be out of school here in a minute if you got kids. Okay? Or maybe your adult children are coming back from college. Who knows? Something is going to potentially interrupt or disrupt your routine, your schedule, your pattern that you're working to build. Don't be surprised by it, and don't be agitated when it shows up. You have time now to plan and prepare for it. So let's do that. Plan and prepare for those things that are going to disrupt your schedule, disrupt your routine, interrupt your routine in any kind of way that is planned, not surprises. Surprises you can't do anything about. Okay? You just cannot do anything about, bad news when it comes to someone else's health that you love, or, your kids getting injured or something like that. You can't, dog gets sick and you got to go to the vet. Like these things or these things. And some of the stuff you can't do anything about. But the things you can do something about, you need to plan for it. So with that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and I am with eCom Sellers. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey. If that's you, I encourage you to join us every day at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, except for Sundays. We do Sunday once a month. So we can go through and plan our day and our week and plan for our future success. You can reach out to me if you need to schedule some time to go through your schedule. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on freebies, and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. You can also connect with me on Clubhouse, or follow me on Clubhouse, and also in the Facebook e-commerce planning Facebook group. I would encourage you to join eCom Sellers if you need support along the way. You want a community to help you, and if you want a little help with leads, things that you can source and sell. Definitely join eCom Sellers to get your leads list on a regular basis, to help you along the way. In addition to that, grab the e-commerce planner at myecomplanner.com. You can grab the digital version or the physical version and use that to help you be more consistent, more focused in your e-commerce business. And so with that being said, I hope that you have an amazingly blessed, highly productive, focused, and successful day. We are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.